the 18th century, London was a very difficult and hard place, and many people were unable to care for their children at that time.
Thomas C0RAM observed how children were abandoned, and he decided he needed to do something about that, and he raised a petition and got funding to set up the Foundling Hospital.
At the time when the hospital still opened, this was on the edge of London, and of course as time went on it became engulfed by the city, and it was decided that this was not a good place any longer to raise children, so the hospital moved out.
The governors of the Foundling Hospital decided to sell off the space for redevelopment.
And there were plans, what were they going to do with this huge space in the centre of London, the space that had always been for children.
Redevelopment were fought by a consortium of people to raise money to buy the site of C0RAM'S Fields to turn it into a playground for children.
The money was raised to buy it, and that's how we have C0RAM'S Fields today, and we have the charity.
And its brief was for this space to be for the children of London to be able to play in, and it was to be an open space in perpetuity, so that nothing could be built on the site and children would always be able to play here.
C0RAM'S Fields offers a number of services for young people in the local community. We run a youth centre for 11 to 19-year-olds. We have an out-of-school programme that works with 4 to 12-year-olds, delivering holiday scheme programmes and term time programmes. We also have an early years service which includes our nursery, and we also have a sports development programme that works with 4 to 16-year-olds Monday to Friday, providing free sport for local young people.
We organise the areas by the children's needs and their abilities. We look at their interests and what they really like doing.
I like to stay outside because I can go everywhere to the park.
We've got very friendly children, very friendly staff, and we form one big family.
I like the aquarium, and I like education. I like it everywhere.
Here they have 7 acres of outside space to access, so they can run off all of their energy.
I'm happy. I am sad because I want to go on the big slide, stay here forever until the foxes come out.
We take a maximum of 40 children and we pick up from 4 local schools.
Normally I go to school straight away, and if no one can look back when I come back, I go to the playground if they went to a venture.
They have a choice of things that they can do. So they can go to sports, play outside in the adventure playground, play inside, and for that we provide games and art activities.
I like the climbing things because you can do backflips and front flips and somersaults.
To make sure all children are included in all the stuff we do, to make sure children are having a fun, sort of in a positive, safe environment, and that children can just play and experience life through play.
I feel tired out because it burns you out and it makes you have a really good day if you had a bad morning. It makes the rest of your day better.
We have several different activities happening at any one time. So for instance, we've got a music studio that happens 3 times a week. We have art, we have an employability session which is new, and we do different types of sports, we do trips.
It's really nice for him to have somewhere to come and just to have all the resources available.
So we try to influence them positively and just try to assist them individually and mentor one-on-one.
So at C0RAM'S Fields, all the sports activities are free of charge. We have an ethos. We want to get children and young people to start in sport, to stay in sport and to succeed in sport.
Well, when I come to C0RAM'S Fields, I usually like to just
go play football in the football pitch. Any sort of sports, because there's a lot of sports like basketball, tennis, football.
So we want people to live an active and healthy lifestyle. One of the things I believe is sport is a great way to achieve this.
You get to exercise, have really fun with it.
One of our sort of priorities as well, to make sure that our sport is fun, it's diverse, it's safe. It's also good for your confidence, self-esteem, and also communication and leadership skills as well.
Alongside the services, we obviously have the main bit of the park that includes an adventure playground for some of the older children. We have smaller adventure playground equipment over the other side and some sand pits, and we have a paddling pool in the centre of the park. We also have a lovely animal area in the far corner of the park. In addition to all of this, we run regular events throughout the year. These have included over the past few years the Camden Mela. We have a fireworks display towards the end of November, and also a Christmas fair come Christmas time as well.
For me, this place keeps my sanity because it's lovely nature, animals, trees.
I think it's special because when you actually come to this park, you can see it's way more bigger, and when you look around you can see children having fun with water guns and all sorts of stuff and smiling.
I would say that it's a meeting place, it's a focal point for the community, a place where you're nurtured and supported as a parent.
The people here are very friendly and welcoming, and it feels like home from home.
You can make new friends and see your old friends.
We try to come here nearly every day because he loves the interaction with other children.
My kid is on admission at Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital, and I have 2 other children. So when I come with them, we usually come here to play because the park is just behind the hospital.
For the community, I think many people living in social housing like me, it's offering a garden.
Freedom to have your child roam and run in the centre of London.
It's a place to come if you want to practice your skills, if you want to get better at something you want to do, and it's somewhere you can just be on your own and have fun.
There's just a lot of open space right here, and you just do what you want, as well as having places for the little kids and the older people.
And I know that staff work really hard to keep it safe, so there's always someone at the gate. You feel very secure coming here.
Because it's fun. Because it's fun. Because it's so fun.
I love the whole continuity of the services that we provide here.
It's just unique, and it tries to deal with as many different areas of people's lives and brings everyone together.
The services that we provide are accessible to parents, be it on low income or at the other end of the scale, high income families.
There are a lot of young people that have come to C0RAM'S and now are working in C0RAM'S. So they are sort of continuing the legacy from attending the park to working in the park to making sure that everybody is sort of on the same page, so that it's involving the community, involving the parents, involving the children. And myself, I think I'd recommend anybody to volunteer or help out in C0RAM'S, because you never know what it can lead to.
Have a water slide maybe. I think there should be more equipment to use.
And I want to have in C0RAM'S a pony!
Me too!
And a unicorn.
It would be nicer if the animals would be allowed a bit more freedom.
To have more nature in small parks so people can go and visit them.
Well, I think the wildlife garden at the back of C0RAM'S, it isn't that open that much. But it would be nice if we could go there sometimes and explore it. And if you had a small tree house, maybe.
Like a tree house, you're in a tree. Here you're always on the ground and you're in a tree.
When you stand up in the tree house, you can see the rest of C0RAM'S.
Over the last 2 or 3 years, we've developed a master plan to redesign the open area. The master plan also involves quite a lot of work on the buildings and a couple of new buildings.
At the moment our cafe is over in the corner, it's a little bit tucked away, and that cafe will move into the main bandstand in the centre of the park, so it will be a real focal point when you walk into the park. In addition to that, a new feature that we're looking to build into the plans is an information centre at the front of the park to just engage people in what C0RAM'S Fields is about and what the work that we do.
In the open area, the place will become a single space and more variety and interest.
We want to create opportunities in all the different areas, whether it's the animal area, whether it's the adventure playground, whether it's in the sandpits, the wildlife garden behind us, where young people can come and explore, whether by themselves as part of a group, part of their school group, or just come along with their parents or their grandparents.
And I think there's been a lot of engagement with local people to see what they want the park to be. And of course, most importantly, local children who use the park.
One big theme as well that we're looking at embedding that we need to do a little bit of work around is the sustainability of the sites between the animal area. We have the chickens, we also have a wildlife garden in the back, and all of those things together, they're all opportunities for the cafe to be able to offer that locally sourced food.
The charitable status of C0RAM'S Fields is very, very important, and at a time particularly now when we see many resources, local community resources closing, it's very, very important that C0RAM'S Fields has that independence to still continue to be a space for children.
And we now have plans in place to develop the site, and we're hoping to do so over the next 5 to 10 years. But ultimately we've got a big fundraising job on our hands and to raise £9 million so that we can take the space from what it is now into the 21st century.
I'm looking forward to seeing how C0RAM'S Fields develops over the next years. Clearly, children are our future, and giving children a great start in life is the most important gift we can give all of our children.
They can play, they can explore. That gives you confidence. You can start to express yourself.
For everything it does, it's teaching children other things that are not seen.
In an increasingly enclosed world that people feel less safe about their children, it's a safe haven.
I came here, my children came down here, their children came, and my great-grandchildren have been here. So that's 4 generations have used this park at one time or another.
For all time, this space, this wonderful space, is here for children. So from the time of all those infants being taken in off the street, and at one time they were left in a basket outside the gates, to today when we see all these children doing amazing activities in the park, it's one long story, but at the centre is always the care and a safe place for children, and that's what's very special about C0RAM'S Fields.